Hey, it's Cole Kirkpatrick from Gnarly Routes, and today's video goes back to a few weeks ago when I was in Colorado and I got to ride the Gnarly Routes KTM 500 EXC-F for the first time. I've always been a two-stroke guy. I prefer the two-stroke. I enjoy trail riding on one. I like racing one. It's fun to play ride on. But a few weeks ago when I was in Colorado Springs for the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, had a day off. So one Saturday morning I went out and rode with my buddy Kuba that lives around the area. We went to the Rampart Range recreation area and rode trail 770. Didn't have much time, so I didn't get to ride all the trail, but we did about 50 miles. I think we rode, 20 or so out and back on trail 770. And it was my first time riding the KTM 500 EXC, and it was great. It was such a cool trail bike. It's plated, so I can jump on pavement if I have to. It made me understand why so many people are big fans of this bike. If I lived in Colorado, I would for sure have one of these things in my garage because it's so versatile. You can jump on the highway, cruise 70, or you can get on the trails and it has no problem keeping up with other bikes.
What's so cool about this bike is the weight of it and the mass just keeps the thing planted. The power delivery is super smooth, so it makes cornering and riding technical stuff pretty easy as long as you keep your momentum up. It just floats. Really smooth power. But man, I could ride this thing all day long and not get too fatigued. Russ has changed the gearing on this thing from stock. I think it's got a 1351 on it currently. And it enables me to just ride all this stuff in third gear. Even in this slower speed stuff, the motor is still plenty capable of pulling third gear, and it gets a ton of traction and nothing happens too fast. The weight of this bike keeps it planted in the roots and rocks, but another place that I really notice it being a benefit is in the little stutter bumps, the acceleration and braking bumps that have developed on this trail in a couple spots. This bike just seems to stay more connected to the ground in that kind of terrain. Sweet. Cool to ride new trails and see where they've routed stuff, like riding through those rocks. So cool. Dirt bikes. So cool where they can take you.
really think of many cons. You know, I didn't ride any extreme terrain, but obviously if you're riding really, really technical stuff, the two-stroke's probably gonna be better because it's lighter weight and won't get as hot. But everything that I rode it on, it was badass. I rode Rainbow Trail and Salida on it, and it was sweet there. I rode a couple Jeep roads. We did Rainbow Trail, then rode some passes to get over to Agate Creek and part of the Monarch Crest Trail that's open to motorized vehicles. I did that one day with Chris Fillmore, and again, it was one of those where you just get on a fire road on the 500 and cruise, and it just tractors right along. So if I could only have one bike, this would probably not be the bike for me, just because where I live in Texas, I just, you know, the two-stroke is so versatile. I can go do so much stuff on it. But for sure, if I lived in Colorado, this 500 EXC-F would have a place in my garage. The 500 that I was on, again, is what Rush uses on our tours. It had the cone valve air fork from WP on it. It had a WP Trax shock, both set up by Solid Performance. It had an Akrapovic silencer that just bolts on and replaces the stock one. The gearing had been changed to a 1351. We had some Enduro Engineering deflectors on there, an XC Gear Mako 360 bar mount, Trail Tech computer, a Seat Concepts seat, and it's the one that's got the wider part on the rear. It's more of a dual sport seat, but it's awesome for the long days in the mountains. Rekluse manual clutch, and IMS foot pegs, a MotoMinded headlight, and then Bike Graphics takes care of the graphics. And I was using some Michelin StarCross 5 mediums, and had bibs in the tires so that I didn't have to worry about flats. But man, the 500 is a sweet bike. Russ is sidelined right now. He had a pretty bad mountain bike crash in Boulder. He was up there just, you know, doing some easy riding before a mountain bike race and ended up in the hospital overnight. So he's kind of out recovering at the moment. He should be back at the end of September. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. We're gonna try to keep putting out regular content. Thanks for watching.